Hey everybody, welcome to, as you can see, this outdoors vlog for today, the 4th of February 2013. Yeah, and this weekend was it was a very big weekend if you're a sports fan. I mean, Super Bowl, of course, being yesterday, and as you'll probably see in my video, it wasn't that good for the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, they were this close. They had a taste of it, as I said in the video, and they're going to want it even more coming next season. So I feel they're going to go back next year and they're going to win it. A lot of teams are like that. They don't. Hold on for a second. A lot of teams are like that because they make it as far as they don't. They usually feel that if they can't get it one year, they're going to get it the next year. And I've got a feeling that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to occur. They're going to win it next year. I feel it. Now, again, it was, and family was there yesterday. There's no doubt about it. You had our extended family, if you will. From the Bay Area that was there. We had, because we were in Modesto with my second older sisters and husbands, and we had everybody there. It's very interesting, I'll say that. Like I said, a very interesting, if not intriguing way to start off going to a Super Bowl, but I'll get into that in a second. Also this past weekend, I had a lot to do, as you probably saw in that little vlog I did on Friday. Basically, I ended up getting a new Wii, basically. So I ended up getting a new Wii for my phone. Hold on for a second. I'm going to pass the skateboard here. Hold on for a second. Alright, sorry about that, folks. I'm probably going to have to do that a lot, seeing as though school's getting out around here right now. I'm probably going to have to say, hold on for a second, a few times, like I said, since school's getting out. So, but yeah, very intriguing and interesting way to start off, doing the Super Bowl. But again, getting back to what I was talking about before I get back into that. I ended up getting a new Wii for me and my family because, as I mentioned briefly in the vlog, the Wii that I had, it was working fine and everything, but then suddenly it just died out. The disk drive basically wasn't working. Now, here's what gets me about the Wii, as I check my time here, but here's what gets me about the Wii. They basically, when it first came out, around 6 years ago, so 5 years ago, I should say, they had a display stand with it. And they kept displaying it, and they kept that stand around as though it's saying, hey, here's the display stand, look how it makes everything look nice. And then when you take a look at these newer Wii's, either they're colored black or white or blue or pink or whatever, they're not displayed. They don't have that display picture anymore. Instead, they have the picture of it flat. And to me, I'm thinking, what's the change, right? And it dawns on me when I'm opening up the Wii the Wii on Friday, that there's no stand. There's no stand. I'm thinking, where's the stand, right? So my mom, she reads the instructions because she's very detailed, believe me, on instructions. She reads them and it states, basically, do not stand Wii on its side. And I'm thinking, what the heck? Don't stand it on its side. And part of me is like, why in the world would you suddenly tell us that now with these Wii issues? Hold on for a second. Again, like I was saying, why tell us this now? Why tell us, the consumer, the customers, why tell us that now with your reissuings of the Wii's, now with the Wii Motion, which now includes the Wii Motion controller? Why tell us that? Why tell us that now? And not tell us, and not look at, and not realize, oh, if we keep it on its side, it's going to damage. Because here's what happens. Here's what happened. My nephew, if you will, loves to play the Wii. So, playing the Wii, he likes to sometimes play the games that require the controller, right? Well, the classic controller, the N64 controller, well, not the N64, but the GameCube controller. He likes those kind of games. Well, apparently, he and my other nephew at times would kind of play with them, and instead of trying to keep the Wii in one position, it kept falling over. It kept falling over, and it's like, well, what's the reasoning behind this? What's the deal? And then does it actually dawn on you that it's not supposed to be that way, right? Does it dawn on you it's not really supposed to be positioned that way? But you go by what they show you. You go by what they've shown you, what they showcased when they presented the Wii back in 2006. I mean, heck, they do the same thing with the Xbox. And guess what? People play it like that too, but they keep it on the... But they don't do it that way anymore. And here's what's funny, though. But again, they don't do it like that anymore. But here's what's funny. My PlayStation 2, which I've had for a while now, it still works. It still works due to the fact that I've had it flat, and right now it's on its side, so it still works. Even though I could easily take it out of the side of the display case and put it flat, it still works. So, to me, it's like, well, why wouldn't they have told us this in the beginning, right? When they presented this. Again, it doesn't dawn on you until something happens that that was a huge design flaw, was the stand. And only then does it dawn on you, after kids play with it a lot, that one, of course, you got to probably be in there with the kids, or two, you got to keep the thing flat on its side. I mean, flat, basically flat, And to me, it's like a huge design flaw that they could have easily avoided if they wouldn't have included the stand. Heck, even I was put, as you see in the video, I had it on its stand. I had it on the stand I had, thinking, they might have just forgot about it. But no, you're not supposed to have it on the stand. You're supposed to have it, if you will, flat, just like a regular console. And again, I think that was a huge design flaw when they did it. And I'll probably do a bit of a video on that later on if I feel like it. But besides that, I also took care of some other stuff as well. I got myself, as you probably saw in the vlog, a new flash drive, which allows me to save a lot of my game files, especially my WWE 13 ones, to a memory card. To basically, essentially, what is a high quality, from what I understand, durable memory unit. And the reason for it, excuse me for a second. Parents are coming to get their kids because the kids are getting ready to get out of class right now here at Las Palmas Elementary. But anyway, like I'm saying, for some odd reason, as I mentioned this before, and it seems I'm not the only one having trouble, my hard drive, where I usually would save my files, suddenly tells me, or suddenly when I try to start up my game, it suddenly says, oh, by the way, load failed. And I'm thinking, what the heck? And I did everything they said. You know, I did everything they recommended there. You know, I took off a lot of files I didn't want to take off. I did this, I did that, and nothing worked still. But it seems for some odd reason that when I use the cloud storage, which is only 512, and the regular memory card, which is 512, it works. So now I'm thinking, is, you know, and what occurred to me is are there flash drives? Are there flash drives out there? And apparently there are. Because now, instead of getting a new Xbox, I ended up getting a flash drive, and it's working very well right now. It's working. I got an 8 gigabyte hard drive, 8 gigabyte flash drive, and it's working very well right now. So, hold on for a second. Well, like I said, it's working very well right now. So, again, I'm going to give it time, but it seems to be okay. I mean, it's 8 gigabytes. It has to take some stuff out because of the gaming system and all that. It's got to configure whatever. But it's working. So, I have 5.5 gigabytes left, and I'm up to 20 superstars downloaded and created, as well as a few created created entrance videos, you know what I mean? So, I have plenty of that. So, and who knows how much more I have left when I download or upload and create an arena. You know, who knows how much more I have. But right now, it's a good blessing, and only for $20. It's no wonder people want to go with those kind of flash drives, or those kind of units. Because it's easier, it saves just as much as a hard drive.